Hello all. Today we will discuss about the vendor rating add-on for SAP Business One, which Kabeer Consulting Group has developed. So we have developed this vendor rating add-on for scoring our vendor, and so we can view the performance of our vendor on a regular frequency or on a regular basis. So initially, we will define the masters in the system for vendor rating. So we have the masters screen here. We have the main criteria. So these four are the main criterias which are predefined in the system. One is price, we have delivery, we have service and quality. Then we have sub criterias under these main criterias. So let me go to the system so I can showcase you this. We have the vendor rating icon here. We have two tabs here. One is for masters and one is for report. I go to masters for now. So if I want to see the main criterias, I click here. I can see all the main criterias. I have the option to make them active, or I want to inactive them. I can select no here in front of this main criteria. After the main criteria, we have the sub criterias under these main criterias. So I can see all the sub criterias which are predefined under these main criterias. Here also I have the option to make them active or inactive based on my business scenario in the company. So these were the main criterias. Once we have defined the main criteria and the sub criteria in the system, the next screens belong to the weightage we want to give to these criterias. So we have the main criteria weightage screen and we have the sub criteria weightage screen. How much weightage we want to give to these criterias. So we have the main criteria weightage here. If I will see the one which I have added here, I have selected all the main criterias for now. I have given the weightages to these main criterias. And if I go to sub criteria weightage, I can see all the predefined sub criterias. Only I have to input the weightages I want to give to these sub criterias. You can see the weightage percentage is calculated automatically based on the input I did for these sub criterias. The calculation type, so few of our sub criterias work on automatic basis and some of them work on manual basis. So automatical, the ones which work automatically, they work based on the transactions in the system. The ones which are manual, user need to manually update the details for those sub criterias on the vendor rating screens. Let me show you how. So this was the sub criteria weightage. After this, we have few sub criterias in which we need to manually input the data. So starting with the first one where we have vendor rating purchase details. So under delivery, we have three sub criterias which needs manual input. So user will come on the screen and input the values for these sub criterias. After this, we have the vendor rating QA details. For the quality, we have three sub criterias. So for inputting the values for these sub criterias, user will come on vendor rating QA details screen. After this, we have the vendor rating price details. So under price, we have only one sub criteria which will be manually inputted by the user. So user will come on the screen to input the value for this market behavior here. After this, we have the vendor rating service details. If the user wants to input the details for the service sub criterias, he will come on the screen to input the values. So we have inputted the values for all the manual sub criterias. After this, we have the field master where we will pick all the fields which we need in the system for formula for automatic calculation of sub criteria. We will pick all the fields here first in the fields master. So all these are all these are already picked here. You need if you need them, you can make them active. Otherwise, you can select no under active column. Then for the fields which we have picked, we can create the formula combination here. So I have defined a formula for a few of my sub criteria. You can see the formula here. So you can create different formulas. You have the master code, all the fields which you have selected in the field master will come here. The operator you can select here. The numeric value, if you want to use in the formula, you can update that. And you can create a new combination for the formula for auto calculation of sub criterias. After this, we have the score deviation table. So for each sub criteria, we have defined the deviation. If there is any deviation for price level till 50, then what will be the score for my vendor? If it is till 150, what is the score for my vendor? If it is 300 plus. So in this way, you can define the deviation, and the based on the deviation, what will be the score for that vendor. So we can define this from my score deviation table. So now if we have inputted all the details based on the masters here on all these screens, the final step is of viewing the report here. So I click on rating monitor sheet for viewing the report. I'll select the branch here. I click on view. So I can see the supplier performance score here, scorecard. So if I want to see the scorecard for my supplier's performance based on the deviation and the score given to my vendor, I can view this report. To all the details for my sub criteria scoring will come on the screen, and I can see the final rating or the overall rating for my vendor in this report. The next one is vendor scorecard. So I can again select the branch here. This is my branch. I click on view. So I can see my supplier's scorecard here. How much was the sub criteria reliability scored, innovation scored, all these sub criteria, what was the achieved score, what is the overall score. I can have a look at that from this report. Based on the score, system will give the rating to your vendor, and you can share this scorecard with your vendor also if required. You can export it and share it with your vendor. So we have discussed all these here in the on the SAP screen: vendor rating purchasing details, vendor rating quality analysis details, we have vendor rating price details, vendor rating service details. Then we have the field master, which we have discussed for defining the fields. We can define the formula combination. Then we have the score deviation. Once we have defined all these masters initially, we can view the report based on different transaction and the data entered by the user. So this is my parameter screen for the report. We have the supplier performance scorecard here. Then we have the vendor scoring card in which we have these many parameters. After this, we have the supplier performance scorecard, which you can share with your vendor. That's all for today in the vendor rating add-on. Thank you everyone for seeing the video. Thank you.